Good morning. Welcome to the Gallon House Covered Bridge. This is Oregon's oldest covered bridge in continuous service, over 50 years old. Was built in 1916. This is against the Gallon House Bridge. It was so named due to the use of this bridge during a time of Prohibition for exchanging gallon jars of liquor, moonshine. And it's been restored several times, but I'm going to, get some shots here. Going to do a little bit of experimentation as well. All right, so it's been several years since I've been to covered bridges for photography. I shot several a few years ago. This one I've never visited. There is a quote by a photographer, and I actually have it in a shirt, and I'll kind of pop that up here for you to see. But essentially, I'm going to paraphrase here. Basically saying that I photograph things to see what they look like photographed. The heart of that, to me, is what photography is often about. That's experimentation. So I'm actually going to experiment. I've got mirrorless cameras, got a lot of features in there. Many of them I haven't used. So I'm going to play around with the HDR blend mode in here, and with that, it will actually take 3 bracketed shots and blend those together as an HDR image. And so my intent is to go and shoot using that mode, and then can compare that with what I can do in Lightroom, and as well I've got the On1 HDR plugin, and kind of compare all 3 of those and see which is better. So I'm going to walk you through the settings that I'm doing on that, and all right. So this is my composition currently. I'll try a few different ones as I go through here. For the HDR mode, right here, I've got that currently. We'll go ahead and set that to 2 stops. So you can set it 1, 2, or 3. So it'll do basically your normal exposure and a plus minus of whatever you set there. I'm setting it at 2 because I had taken a look at my scene here using the exposure simulation of the camera, and it looked like about a 4-stop difference. So just to kind of capture everything, or my middle, my the plus minus, that 2-stop difference from the middle is where we're going to go with that. All right. This also has the option to do just a 1 shot only, which means once you shoot, it turns the HDR mode off. I'm actually going to go ahead and set that to every shot because I want to do several shots with this different compositions, and I don't want to have to keep going back into it. Obviously the auto align images is on, which is fine. That's the natural effect. I'm going to stick with that. And then save source images, all images. That's going to be very important because the camera will save those as a JPEG, but I want to have all the source images so that I can use those again in Lightroom and in the On1 HDR plugin. So those are my settings, and I'm going to go ahead and get some shots and see what happens here. All right, so not giving me exactly the view that I wanted. I'm almost too sharp here on the side here with the fence. So really doesn't match up too well. So it's not giving me the greatest view on this bridge of what I've had on some of the others. What I am going to try to do though, is kind of get a little bit closer, get in the middle of the road, shooting straight on with that. And there's not a whole lot of traffic, but I still need to be a little cautious, of course. So I'm going to go up there and see what we can get. Got a few shots with this scene as well, and give that okay, so angle, lighting, everything not nearly as good on this side of the bridge. Still want to go ahead and get some of that with a lot of the area here kind of off limits with flare, no trespassing, whatever. I'll pleasantly give you any way to get kind of the side or the river view of the bridge, and that's okay for now. And that not seeing a lot here, but get a few shot down. The end. Get these shots, get them back on the computer. Can see what gives me the best result. Either blending up, whether it's the camera, probably say no, or just Lightroom or On1. So we'll see what happens with that. So, other than our weight limit sign right there in front of the opening, there's a little orange cone over here. This actually is probably my best view as far as getting that the side of the bridge. So I'm gonna get some shots there. See what happens if I can actually get that out. If I can, I'll share it. If not, we're going. Okay. Cold. I'm going to call this part of the video done. And we'll see what we find out in the computer. Put some of these together, blend them together. See if we've got anything worth keeping. And find out what's the winner. So, remember, photography is often about experimentation. Doing something you haven't done before. Trying new things. Get out there and do that. Please give me the thumbs up, like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for the results on our comparison. Alright, so I'm back at the computer, gotten the images transferred from the card into Lightroom, and I'm going to take a look again. I'm going to let you see the comparison between the in-camera HDR on the Canon R5, the Lightroom HDR merge, and then the On1 HDR plug-in. And I'll kind of walk you through those a little bit and see what we've got. Alright, so of the photos I've taken, I did go ahead and select I believe 4 different images, so I actually have a total of 16 images here. Remember, I was doing the plus minus 2 on the exposure, so I've got the 2 stop under, 2 stop over, and the median exposure, plus the blended image that was done in the camera. So I will just start with the first one. We'll go ahead and do the Lightroom HDR merge first. And so I'm not going to walk you through exactly how to do that, give you any tips on that. If you're using Lightroom, you probably already know how to do that merge. But I'll select the 3 images that I'm going to start with. Go to Photo, Photo Merge, and HDR. And see how long it takes my slow computer to actually generate the preview and then merge those together. Now normally I would go ahead and select the Create Stack, but because I'm also going to put those into the HDR On1 plugin, it's going to be easier just to leave those out of the stack. Okay, so there's the preview. I'm not going to do any auto settings on that. I'm pretty much just going to let it be the natural, this is what it is, so it's going to be a little bit closer to what the camera is doing as far as no extra settings. I may need to go ahead and modify that just a little bit once it's merged to try to get it even that much closer. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and click Merge. And again, that does take a little bit of time on my computer. It's fairly old. Now I've got those same photos selected, so I can go ahead and do the On1 plugin. And for that, I'm actually going to go ahead and go to File, Plugin Extras, and Merge with HDR 2023. This gives me options of file format, so I'm actually going to go ahead and choose the DNG file because I haven't done any type of editing beforehand, just to try to keep this sample even. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the DNG so that it actually brings me back a raw file that I can use. We'll leave it with the same color space that I've got, and I'll say OK. This will launch the HDR plugin, and we'll see how long that takes here. So. Alright, here it comes. Alright, with this it gives me the ability to choose what the median image is. It's already automatically selected that. We've got the different looks. I'm just going to leave it on natural. We don't want to do a whole lot, don't want to be, overhanded on the HDR merge here. And so I'm just going to go with the automatic settings that it pretty much gave me to begin with here, and just click on Save. And this will send it back to Lightroom. So we'll give that a moment to do its thing. Alright, so once we've saved that, it's still actually in the On1 HDR plugin, so it brought it into that. It allows me to do some additional toning and that type of thing. I'm not going to do any of that. Again, I want to try to keep this as level playing field as possible between the three final images. So again, I'm just going to click on Done. And that is the step that will actually bring it back into Lightroom. Okay, I brought it back in as a DNG raw file so that I can still have some better control over it than I would just over the JPEG. Let me go ahead and select these real quick in their current state. That is not what I want to do. In their current state, without rotating, mind you, and go into the quick survey view. Like I said, especially with the Lightroom version, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of adjustment to try to bring it a little bit closer to the others. And then I am going to do this with all four sets of the images, so all four compositions that I have. And I will display these on the screens and give you an opportunity to guess which one is which, whether it's the camera, Lightroom, or On1 HDR version. And then I'll reveal that, of course, for all of them once you've had a chance to take a look at them. Let me know in the comments how you did. Did you get them all right? Were you way off? Let me know. Let me know what you thought of that. And so I'm going to go ahead and put those up here. Just a moment, like for you, obviously. It's going to take me a little bit to get them, so I still have to put the merge through the other images. So in the meantime, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give me the thumbs up to like this video if you're enjoying the content. And I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, so you've seen all of the images merged 3 different ways, and you've seen the reveal as to which method, whether it was in camera, the Lightroom HDR merge, or the On1 HDR plugin. So did you get them all right? Were you able to figure out which was which? Go ahead, drop me a comment, let me know if you got those right, what you thought of that. Also go ahead and take a moment again to give me a thumbs up in the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm going to end this here, but stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and put up these images again, but a fully edited version that I would have, so a final version, not just the quick merge together. So this will be, again, edited, toned, lighting, removing signs, that type of thing, to actually make them look good. So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.